the enviable task of introducing Betsy Rose. We've known Betsy for, God, 40 years or more. We've been listening to her music. I got to hear her Friday night. The fact that I'm here again is some indication of how much I enjoyed her. I think you're going to have a wonderful evening tonight. She's so amazingly full of energy and hope, and I'm going to go back to my seat and listen to it. How about you, Sarah?
So for decades, she has been a voice helping people understand what's going on. So she'll be just sharing what her stories are about each song, and that's part of the excitement. But she'll tell about a 6-month tour where she was working with different grassroots groups of girls. She's just amazing. She worked with Thich Nhat Hanh. So we're just so thrilled that she's right here in Shelburne Falls. Thank you, Anne. Well, okay. Here I am. Hi. Thank you, Charlie, and thank you, Sarah. I asked them if they would do that. They're some of my oldest and dearest musical colleagues from back in the day when we were young things about Cambridge and Boston, and we were starting the people's music movement together. A particular, not the worldwide, but a local people's music together. But being back here, I'm so glad you're all here. Thank you for coming. How many of you came because Sarah Purtle twisted your arm? Come on now, I want to know, because I know she did some arm twisting. How many of you because Charlie talked me up big time? Why are the rest of you here? Anne, that's right. See, this is good. Where was I? Oh, my friend Ruth Pelham, who some of you may know from Albany, fabulous singer. She did a house concert, and the reason so many people were packed to the rafters wasn't because of me. It was because they love Ruth and they trust her. And if Ruth says, "You got to hear this," they come. So Anne, thank you for bringing out such a crowd, and Charlie and Sarah also. I lived in this region when I was a teenager. I lived in Cummington. My dad was the minister of the Cummington Church and the West Cummington Church. I went to Northfield School for Girls, along with my dear friend and roommate Shelley Ball from Deerfield. So I haven't been back in quite a while. So it has been, as you can imagine, nonstop people, nonstop love, nonstop catching up. I've talked myself hoarse. I haven't been able to sleep. And I bring you that Betsy today. You're gonna get that girl. Unapologetic is my middle name. No, really, I am. I know each other, the beauty of smaller towns and so forth. So we're all connected by all these webs, Charlie, Sarah, Anne, me, all of that. And I'm gonna actually start kind of in a big picture for the first song of kind of the larger picture that connects all of us, which at this moment, there's a million ways we're connected, but I'm very focused on and on fire, if you will, about the state of our planet right now, and I know you are all tuned into that. And I hope to offer you some music that is some signposts, possibly, for how we are navigating all this. But I just want to start with a kind of invocation from the earth to us. It's called Send Me a Voice by Shari Bernstein. Send me a voice to speak your deepest fears. Send me a song to heal a million tears. Send me a voice, the voice of ancient years. this road for you. Send me the strength to heed when you call. Send me the eyes to gather all. Send me the truth to break the longest fall. For I am walking this road for you. Earth, make me your channel, and I will ease your pain. Earth, take my whole life to make you whole again. Make me your instrument, and I will play your tune. For I am walking this road for you. Such a beautiful melody, and I'd love to have you just sing along, but and I know the words are still fresh, but the tune, don't you feel like the tune is kind of getting in there? So a really beautiful way to just get the voices a little braver is to start with just ooh. No sweat, no stress, and just ooh this music together. You'll be so touched. I was so touched last time we did this with how beautiful we all sound, just oohing. So let's do that. You were born to sing. Wow. Oh. You know, I show up just for that because I was, like many musicians, Charlie was doing this. I don't know, Sarah, if you were doing it, but we were doing music online during COVID through Zoom. And you, how many of you have sung on Zoom now through these kind of community things? And you know the good part, and you know also how unsatisfying it can be. No harmonies, no three-dimensionality. So this, I'm still getting used to this. It's just, it's heaven. It's heaven. Thank you. So, kind of the way I'm putting this together tonight is the first set largely is about kind of the arc of the individual human existence here, in a nutshell, in 6 songs. Leaving out a few details. But just the sense that we all start out pretty much the same way, and we always end up pretty much the same way. And in between, we do a lot of living, right? But I feel like there's some watershed parts in that journey that are kind of universal. We'll see, because I'm going to touch on some of them. But I'm going to sing, first of all, about being born. And everything that comes after, right? But no, I became a doula at one point after 50 years of being a professional musician. Hey, David, you made it. Bravo. Oh, God. So yeah, I became a doula because, sometimes in life, you've been doing the same thing for a long time, and it doesn't exactly go bad. It just feels kind of done, and you wonder what might be next, yeah? How many of you know what I'm talking about here? Thank you. Yeah. It's called HC, the human condition, right? So the doula was just the refreshment I needed. So this song is called Welcome to Life. Welcome to the great unknown. Welcome to the magic show. Welcome to the lights and sound. Pretty soon you'll know your way around. Welcome to life. Breathing unfamiliar air. Welcome to flesh and bone and touch and taste and hair. It's a little strange, it's a little fun, and before you know it, you're gone. Welcome to the blink of an eye in a hurricane. Welcome to life. Welcome to life. Mama's gonna love you long. Mama's gonna love you strong. Mama doesn't know the ropes. Got nothing but her mama hopes. Welcome to love that hurts and love that heals. Welcome to kind and cruel and tender and foolish and real. Walking through the mud, flying across the sun, and before you know it, you're the one saying welcome to the blink of an eye in a hurricane. Welcome to life. Welcome to life. Oh, I'm going to invite you to do this with me because you sounded so great on that last song. There's this little part where I sort of do a little boo boo ba ba doo dee doo da, and they call it scat in jazz. But it's also what babies do. Like, we are really born singing. Before long, babies are blah 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 blah, having a good time with that voice. So let's just do it. Let's become those newborns and just play around with this. So I'll get you started. Ba, ba, ba. Don't follow me. Welcome to life. Sing it with me. Welcome to life. Now God is just another name for standing dry inside the rain. God is what is breathing you when you're drowning in that sea of blue. Welcome to some big dance you never quite learned. You know what I mean? Still, it's your one big chance to walk through fire. Find out it burns. It's a little joke, it's a big dream, and no matter how it hurts, you don't want to leave. It's the It's the blink of an eye in a hurricane. The blink of an eye in a hurricane. Blink of an eye in a hurricane. Welcome to singing crowd. What a treat. What a treat. So how many of you have seen Charlie perform? Been his performances? What a local, hey, yeah. And how many of you know Sarah's beautiful work with children and women and peace? And, yeah. I'm blessed with such friends. I'm truly blessed. And Sarah's been hosting me and keeping me from going under. And, So here we are, we get born, and we get born into bodies. That's pretty universal. And then these bodies kind of go through this series of experiences, right? And sometimes, you know, the stuff that we think is an emotional experience is also a body experience. I don't need to tell you that. But there's, you know, there's this great book a lot of people are reading called The Body Keeps the Score, right? And other things like that. Another one is the issues in the tissue. Like if you're, I got another one for you. If it's, this is about trauma, by the way. If it's hysterical, it's historical. So all of these things to say that these bodies store and hold the memories, the traumas, the joys, everything. And so I thought I'd just do a little song celebrating that amazing body. I call it Autobiography of a Body. These are all new songs, almost all, so that's why I have lyrics, but I forgot my glasses, so it's not really. This 73, are they readers?
Yeah, they're threes.
Could try it. I could try it, thanks. I know where my glasses are, it's just like too complicated. Let's do this, let's have a glasses fest here. I'll raise you too.
Oh, they look nice on you.
Thank you. That's not bad. You're all a blur, but my words are great. This Autobiography of a Body. There are some sing-along lines, and you're quick. You're going to figure out exactly how to join on this song. This body had a good time when I was a little child. This body had a good time when I was a little child. Now stop, because she's going to fool you. This body had a real good time. Soft little belly, sturdy little spine, and I knew every inch was mine, all mine. When I was a little child, that's you. When I was a little child, there you go, all right. This body had a good mind when I was a little child. This body had a good mind when I was a little child. I could make up stories, I could make up rhyme. I was making up stuff nearly all the time, making up songs way past bedtime. When I was a little child, one more. When I was a little child, you got it. This body had feelings when I was a little child. This body had feelings when I was a little child. Cold when I'm scared, hot when I'm mad, warm and soft and tender and glad, before they told me what was good or bad. When I was a little child, yeah. This body had power when I was a little child. This body had power when I was a little child. I flung myself right into the world. Dare me to do it and I'll give it a whirl. And no one could tell me I was just a girl. When I was a little child. This body was tender when I was a little child. This body was tender when I was a little child. Saw some things that she had to hide, secrets frozen up inside. But little by little, I'm coming back. body started changing. I couldn't stay a little child. This body started changing. I couldn't stay a little child. Didn't mind growing up, but it didn't seem right that boys, didn't mind growing up, but it didn't seem right that girls had the rules and boys had the rights. But I made it my business to put up a fight since I was a little girl. This body's been a good friend since I was a little child. This body's been a good friend since I was a little child. I got patchy skin, achy limbs, but my body keeps going through thick and thin, and the dance goes on and I'm all in. 'Cause it took me this long to learn the moves, so just bury me in my dancing shoes if I come back around and I get to choose. I wanna be a little child. Yeah, wow. Okay. So this is a song I'm having a lot of fun singing on this particular wing of my journey here. And as I may have said, this is the first time I've been on the East Coast singing for many a decade. This is a really interesting homecoming to the region and the people and the culture and I have to take my glasses off and look at you, the beauty that is blowing me away. The moisture, the waters, the green. So far, I have seen a black bear cross Highway 9, Route 9, a black bear. I saw a coyote this morning. I've seen a lot of roadkill. And a fox ran through my friend Ruth's backyard in Albany, New York. I'm not in California anymore. And I'm not gonna click my heels anytime soon because I'm really liking it here. But this is a song that has in it, it's actually the autobiography of a girl folk singer. I've done the body, now I'm gonna go back and do the music story. And Cummington is the second verse of the song, the one street town that you'll hear about. The first verse is placed in Wyoming. My dad served a church in Rock Springs, Wyoming when I was 4, 5, 6. And there was a lot of sky out there. So this is called Midnight Stallion. It's a stallion, for goodness sake. When I was a girl, living out on the plains, I'd slip out at night, 'cause the wind was calling my name. Just a little girl, under a starry sky, in a great big world, stepping out on every side. And I wanted to go, to ride on a midnight stallion across the sky. Just a one-street town and a one-room school, a one-white church where my daddy preached the golden rule. No one went far, girls married young, boys worked on cars, carried a gun, and I wanted to scream, and I wanted to cry. Every dream I got gonna wither on this vine. Ooh, 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 ooh. Down in the basement, found an old guitar, and it took my fingers, took my voice, and it took my heart. It had songs of maidens who stole their lovers' gold, the songs of hobos rolling on down the road. And I wanted to laugh, and I sky with a great big dream stretching out on every side. And I'm starting to hear what I'm wanting to and I'm starting to sing what I'm wanting to hear. Got the wind and the North Star, got nothing to fear. From a one-street town to the city lights in a midnight stallion, across the sky. No performer likes to forget words on stage and miss chords, but it happens, you know. And this is the best setting for it to happen, right? And being human beings together.
We're with you.
Yeah, I feel you, and I appreciate it. Let's take a minute. Let's get the folks in here. This is a stunning crowd. Charlie and Sarah, you outdid yourselves. And Anne. Anne gets a lot of credit. Welcome, everybody. We're going to just take a moment to breathe while you get yourselves settled. It's all good. We're glad you're here. Molly. Hi, another singer. Molly Scott, another local treasure. You know, another thing I really love about small rooms, you have a sellout crowd, and it's not that hard to do, you know. Yeah, Ruth Pelham's house, you know, we had it in our living room, and we were like packed to the rafters. It felt like Carnegie Hall, but it was just 32 good people, you know. So, and take a minute to settle, because this next song is a settle song. I forgot to say at the beginning, I told you the first part of this was the human journey, the birth to death thing. The second set kind of goes to that next level of planetary, kind of where are we in time, what is the future, what is here now, how do we live in this circumstance that is like no other, that human beings have never faced, literally never faced what we are about right now. And Joanna Macy, how many of you are familiar with Joanna Macy's work? She's now 96, by the way. She's a good friend, been my mentor and colleague for many years. At 96, she says, I am so excited to be alive in this time. No other human beings have been wherever we are. What a great time to be alive. You don't hear a lot of people saying that, you know, you just don't. So thank you, Joanna, and now you've heard it. It's gonna go in there with all the other stuff that we've been hearing. But before we go there, there's another piece of this lifespan that we all experience at some point or other, which is the loss of our parents. And a lot of us are old enough to have either gone through that threshold or be facing it. And I went through it with my folks who blessedly lived into their 90s very healthfully and with good minds and decent teeth. and great spirits. And then I got the privilege and the joy and the honor and the love of going through their deaths with them. I was sort of their death doula, and for both of them, just because I was available. I have sibs who are just as faithful, but were working, and I took some time off. So I really treasure that hospice experience. It's quite something, really. It's a paradigm shift from saving whatever you're trying to save to understanding it can't be saved, and yet there's so much still to be loved. There's so much still to experience. And once the letting go of the clinging, right? The like, we'll just try this, we'll just try that. Like, there really isn't anything more to try. Just releasing into love, you know? And some of you are nodding, you know this. If you haven't experienced this yet, I hope you do. I know not every death is pleasant and lovely, but there's a lot of magic in it. And my dad, who was kind of a crotchety, eccentric guy, and a fabulous preacher, and a marvelous human being, like all of us, a marvelous human being enshrouded in some wounds that made him not so marvelous all the time, right? We all know that. But in his last days, and even weeks, he became the man I know was in him, which was grateful, loving, tender, and just, I remember him lying in bed hallucinating, and he just went, I love everybody. And I thought, this is the man I always knew was in there. Even as a little girl, I knew. And the fact that it wasn't always reachable can be very hard on children, isn't it? But anyway, okay, so this is a song for my mom, who was very close to, and it's called Without My Mother. I can tie my shoe, I can brush my teeth without my mother. Walk to the corner of 2nd Street without my mother. I can read a book, I can comb my hair, set the table with the silverware, a little bit crooked, she don't care. She's my mother. Sleep overnight at my best friend's house without my mother. You can sing that too. Climb up on stage and take a bow without my mother. I stole money for candy from her purse, but the taste of the guilt got worse and worse. That kind of love is a gift and a curse. I love my mother. She taught me to sing, his eye is on the sparrow, even when the path is dark and narrow. She's in my bones, down to the marrow. So I can cry my tears, I can say my prayers because of my mother. I got eyes that see and a heart that dares because of my mother. And the grown-up son of her little girl wants to be a dad, wants to change the world. That kind of love is a precious pearl from my mother. son, Shelley and I were just talking about our sons. We got a passel of sons between us, Shelley. And he's my boy is now 32, and he's taken an interesting turn in his life. And I'll say a little more about him later, because he taught me something really great. That's a keystone place of hope for me in the planetary thing. So don't leave in the admission, because you'll miss it. But just a wonderful guy who's chosen regenerative farming and ranching and soil restoration for his life work, and that gives me a lot of comfort when I wake up and it's looking really dark, to just know, I just think of him, and I think of his pictures before and after of the land before they started moving cattle through it in the right way, in the mobbing way. I'll tell you, I can say more about that. Some of you know about mob and move, right? Know about this? It's the way the cattle and the bison made 10 inches of topsoil in the Great Plains 150 years ago. By not, you see, cattle are not the enemy. They know how to do it. They mob, they stay close together because of predators. And then they move along about every 3 days to just stay ahead of their scent and stay ahead get to the fresh grass. And so the grass has time to regenerate, the soil's been pooped on and turned over, and it's just luscious what happens. So there's the kind of things that are going on that are so hopeful and restorative and just wonderful. So that's the next generation doing what they're supposed to be doing. And this song is about the generations and how we can really support each other. Because, you know, there's a little bit of a dismissal of us. Who's a boomer here? Who knows? Who was born around the late 40s to mid-50s, something like that, besides me? Yeah, a good number of us. Yeah, we are a demographic, aren't we? Yeah. I was singing at an elder network, a really cool place, this network of elders who want to age in place. And so it's a citywide network of younger people and older people, where if the older person needs a ride to the doctor, they put out to the list, hey, who could give me a ride? And some of the younger people who are still driving take them. So it's just helping them stay out of facilities, out of, you know what I mean, like group things and in their homes. So I was singing to them, and I waved at my partner on the way out of the house, and I said, I'm going to sing to my demographic. So I'm finally an elder. So this is called Make a Little Ruckus. I got a few wrinkles, I got a little sag, but my eyes still twinkle, and my feet don't drag. I got a little time left on this earth, gonna use it well, gonna make a little ruckus, raise a lot of hell. Let's sing that. Gonna make a little ruckus, raise a lot of hell. I'm gonna make a little ruckus while I got the time. I got fire in my belly, freedom on my mind. If I give it everything I got, the world may turn out well. If I make a little ruckus, raise a lot of hell. Nice, yeah. Welcome everyone, come on in, we're raising ruckus right here. Well, I made a little ruckus back when I was a girl. We were full of faith and love and hope. We were changing the world, and we did. Now young folks everywhere are rising in a mighty swell. Busy making lots of ruckus, raising lots of hell. Let's sing that. They're busy making lots of ruckus, raising lots of hell. You're busy making lots of ruckus, raising lots of hell. Putting bodies and hearts on the line, shaking the citadel. You make a party out of protest, you're singing all the way to jail. You're busy making lots of ruckus, raising lots of hell. Let's do it. You're busy making lots of ruckus, raising lots of hell. So I forgot to say one thing, which is that elder women are finding a terrific way to support young people in the 1,000 Grandmothers movement, which is nationwide. And it's women like a lot of us who are getting out there in the streets, and they are protesting and getting arrested and doing all the right thing. But I have a friend, Nikki, who's real active in it. I called her up one day and said, hey, do you have time to go do blah, blah, blah? And she said, oh, I don't have any time. The grandmas are making 500 sandwiches for the kids. They're occupying the State House, and we got to go bring them lunch. And I thought, that's what grandmothers can do, right? There's a place for us elders here, right? So look up girls and grandmothers, they're really cool. Okay, here we go. On. Watch out for those grandmas out in the street, making a line of protection between the young folks and the police. We're keeping them distracted, weaving our grandma's spell. Well, they're making lots of ruckus right behind us, raising lots of hell. Well, I got a few wrinkles, I got a few aches, I got a rebel spirit made of something that just don't break. I hear a call from the future, ringing like a mighty bell, saying make more ruckus and raise more hell. Do it with me. Saying make more ruckus and raise more hell. So let's make more ruckus while we got raise more hell. Let's make good trouble while the system fails. Yeah. If we give it everything we got, the world may turn out well. If we make a little ruckus, raise a lot of hell. Let's make a little ruckus, raise a lot of hell. Yeah. Okay. How many of you have made some ruckus in the last year? Think about it. Think about it. Doesn't have to be big. Doesn't have to be big. Just shake things up a little bit. Just, you know, disrupt. Disrupt a little here. Disrupt a little there, right? You know? There's a lot of us. If everybody does a little disruption and raises a little ruckus, it's kind of, yeah, it's a good thing. Keeps them on their toes. So I think I'm going to close this set, and then we'll have a nice break to air out a little and have some refreshments and chat, with a song that I wrote for my son when he was graduating from college. And being a songwriter, I had documented his childhood with songs at key points. I wrote a whole album of songs after he was born, which is called Motherlight, over there on the CD table. But when he went to kindergarten, I wrote him a song, of course. When he graduated from 5th grade, I wrote him a song. And you know, honestly, what this is about, it's not really about songs, because then you think, oh, well, Betsy, you can do that. I'm not going to write it. But it's really about ritual. It's about marking life passages in a way that kind of makes it a tangible, palpable thing. It doesn't have to be religious at all. It's just the idea that this matters. This matters. This moment is important. So graduating from college is a big moment for kids that are deciding or have the good fortune to go to college. And so I wrote the song, I sang it to him, it was lovely, and then I put it away because now he graduated from college. Well, I don't need to sing it anymore. So it's been sitting in a file for about, 10 years since he graduated. Yeah, that sounds about right. So I was going through these files and I found these lyrics and thought, oh, that's really kind of nice. I like those lyrics. Not a clue what the music was. But no problem. What do you think I did? Wrote a new one. So changed the words a little because I've grown a bit since then. I'm going to move this up. Dave, I might need some help. Yeah, can anybody help me just get this up? It's a little low. I think that's the deal. Yeah, you got it. That's good. Thank you so much. And you are?
Jenna.
Hi, Jenna. Thank you very much. I didn't mention that I have arthritis, which is a hell of a thing to happen to a guitar player. But there's a cool side to it, which is I have dedicated these hands, as long as they last, to this and that. So I try my best not to do anything else. So people like Jenna, you know, people lift things for me. I call my partner and say, could you open this jar? Could you, it's like, I surrender. I surrender. These hands have a purpose, and I'm going to just stick with that. Anyway, so I resurrected the song, wrote some words, and yeah. And this maybe is a nice way to end the section about the creation of a life, start to finish and all in between. It's called On the Cusp. Your life spreads out before your feet. You're on the cusp of being free. You're done with deadlines, tests, and scores. Your life, your what you gain and lose, but the only way to start, one step following your heart. I don't pretend to have the answer. I thought I'd be a day-god dancer. Not every dream you dream comes true, just the ones that are meant for you. I'm looking back with second sight. I sure remember all that fright, but music was my oldest friend. I finally chose her in the end. What a work of art, my life swallowing my heart. You've got a sketch, you've got a clue, so many colors live in you, and there's a wisdom to not knowing. Every risk just keeps you growing. The wind is at your back, there's nothing that you lack. Just do your part, make a start. What a work of art, your life following your heart, 'cause you're a work of art. Good. Now you all get to go talk to each other. I get to go out back and cry a little, so I kind of feel all that. Yeah, it's a lot. Thank you so much. Your warmth really means a lot to me. And let's have a nice time together and then come back for more. Thanks so much, Anne. This is such a great vision you've manifested here. You know, it's just this bringing people together and crowded in and good things happening together. And it's a tough time in this world. We need this kind of thing. It's medicine, isn't it? So here we are, ready for round two. And listen, could we just be quiet for a minute? Because I'm from California. The sounds I'm hearing outside the windows, I do not hear much where I'm from. Let's just take a moment to appreciate. Joni Mitchell was singing, don't you, ain't it always whatever, you don't know what you got till you're gone. I didn't know what I had in New England until I moved to California, which is wonderful. But what's happening here and the green all around us is not happening there. And yeah, so this is something to be grateful for. So here we are, the planetary journey and the earth calling. And many of us of an age where, as elders, it's kind of a question of what is this time of life for? What is it for? You know, it used to be, and sometimes still is, for travel. It's for doing those things you wanted to do and you were working too hard and raising the kids. And now we're free and out and about. But you know, it's just kind of not like it used to be. Jumping on a plane is kind of a moral decision almost. You know, I've stopped flying. For my West Coast trips, I couldn't take the train out here. Could not. 5 days on Amtrak. I love Amtrak. I love Amtrak. I do a 24-hour trip from Oakland to Seattle every year to see my family. I have so much fun. You got to try it. If you haven't taken a train lately, it's fun. So anyway, what are the elder choices here? The 1,000 grandmothers are maybe one example of putting ourselves to use. So I've been certainly thinking about that. And I'll tell you just a little of what's come to me. I think I'm going to start with a piece of a song I already sung, just to bring us back into that space. Earth, make me your channel. I will bear your pain. Earth, take my whole life to make you whole again. Make me your instrument, and I will play your tune. For I am walking this road for you. And I think we're all feeling that call. Like, what can I do for the earth? We're in peril. Life as we know it is shaky. You know, this industrial civilization thing is just not tenable. It's not sustainable. And we don't know kind of what else to do or what to do, how to do. So it's a big question. How can I be of use? So I had kind of a wall around this. I had been so happy to be a doula. And I was working with low-income women. I really wanted to be a doula for women who couldn't afford a doula, because fortunately I was in a position where I didn't want to start another business. So I worked at the county hospital as a volunteer, mostly immigrant low-income women. I was really happy doing it. But COVID came along 2 months after I started serving there, after all my training and everything. Worked with a homeless project for unhoused women, doing doula with them. Just couldn't have been happier. But COVID shut everything down. And I wasn't experienced enough a doula to do it online. It was like too weird to coach a birth through Zoom. Singing was hard enough, but coaching a birth, I wasn't experienced enough to do that. So I did what Charlie and Sarah and a lot of other artists that I love did, which was go online and start creating community singing, knowing that we were all freaked out, really scared, and isolated from each other, and the impact on children. I mean, good Lord, home and schooling online at the very time they need to be learning social stuff and everything. What a time. So the singing felt like a good offering, so I went back to it. But at some point, I just had one of those moments that I bet some of you have had where the crisis looks too big and whatever I do seems way too small, right? And, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I had one of those moments where I lifted my eyes to the skies. That's somehow where I look. I could also look to the ground, but I looked to the sky and basically said, I've got skill, I've got wisdom, I'm healthy, I've got energy. What should I do? Put me to work. Give me something big. I want to do it. I want to go out in a blaze, And what I was kind of thinking is, civil disobedience, getting arrested, really making trouble, making good trouble, like the song says, helping the system fail a little faster so we can get on with the real business of making a human society, Why not? And so I put out the cry. I said, just tell me what to do. Just tell me what to do. Well, I don't know about you, but sometimes when I ask that directly to the whatevers, I actually get an answer, and it comes kind of from here. It doesn't come from out there, but something comes, and it was right from here. And it said, write songs. Well, it's like, I already do that. It hasn't saved the world yet. Could I just do something a little more exciting, And I swear to God, I argued. You should never argue. When you ask for a voice and then you should never argue. I had that. And it just kept saying, write songs, write songs. So I finally said, okay, I surrender. And I will do this. Now, it made me think of, and so I did. And immediately, within days, songs were like, I was hoping you'd ask. And it just came in. Whereas I hadn't been writing much for a bunch of years. I've been singing. I've been out in the streets a lot, protesting, leading songs. But those were more like down by the riverside and, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. I wasn't writing songs for what we're doing here now. So anyway, songs came pouring out of me. And Leonard Bernstein, I want to just share this with you. He said a really fabulous thing that addresses this question of what do I do in this time of fear, horror, tragedy, whatever. He said this after the assassination of JFK. And he was speaking at Lincoln Center maybe a week after the assassination. And he said in part, our response to violence will be this, to make music more passionately, more intensely, and more beautifully than ever before. And I felt like, oh, that's what the voice is saying. It's saying, just do what you do best. Do what you've always done most and loved the most, and just do it more passionately, more devotedly, and more intensely. That's all. Just turn the heat up. Like, you don't have to go get a PhD in something. You don't have to go learn something new. You may want to, that's okay. But think about, like, what do you love? What are you good at? There's a Venn diagram about this. The first circle is, what do you love? What lights you up? And you are happy when you do it. The second circle is, what are you really good at? What is your superpower, your skill? And then the third circle is, what does the earth need? And at the intersection of those three is your place, is our place. And all we have to do is do that thing that we love, that we're good at, and that the earth will benefit from. And we're good. You don't have to scratch our heads about, what should I do? That's it. I have a friend who grew up in a family that loved repairing things. They repaired everything. And she's really good at it, and it makes her really happy. So she's part now of a repair network in Berkeley, which is where I'm from, that teaches people how to repair their household items so they don't have to keep going out and buying new ones and filling the landfill with plastic and metal. I mean, this is a beautiful thing to do. And she's so happy. So I give you that in case you've been like, oh, I don't know. So what I did was I started writing songs, and then I started going on little personal retreats in the woods to make space for it. It took some space to kind of let things flow. And some days were really wonderful writing days. If any of you are writers or artists, you know how that is. Some days the flow is there and you are in it and it's magical. And there are other days where it ain't, it's just not magical and nothing is happening. So I was having one of those days. I went out and I sat on the deck looking at all the beautiful trees around me in the Sierra Mountains and kind of said, look, I'm dedicating my life to you. I truly am. I'll do anything for you. But could you talk to me? And could you give me some direction about what am I doing? What is this? Well, they did. They did. And somehow, again, I just grabbed my journal and just started writing. And it came out to this, which I've edited a little bit just because I wanted it to be coherent for you. But this is for all of us. It's not just me. And it's called The Trees Say, and I do need glasses because I couldn't find mine. I went and looked for them. Anybody got a loaner? Just like reading glasses or something? Great. I mean, anything's probably better than what I'm working with right now. Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much. Okay, so The Trees Say. The trees say, you are old now, an elder like us. There is space made just for you. The voice of time, the distillation of a life. There is much less to do now, and much more to be. Time is both short and vastly wide and deep. And you are meant for the depths now. And finally, you can accept the truth of tides, how the deep pole draws you close to whisper her secret messages into your heart, and then releases you to the shore one more time, spilling the sparkle and shells of small lives and breathing tangled stories. To the younger ones scampering along the shore, you are both ordinary and magical. You do not run with them. They will make of your ocean, your deep sparkle, what they will. It is not yours to decide. You are needed, but you are not important. Yeah. Most of what you offer will be ignored or kicked aside for a shinier or more useful treasure. It doesn't matter. Sing on. Go deep when the pole sweeps you back. Dance on the shore when the exhale spreads the one you still think is you unto the gritty expanse of daylight. You cannot know the purposes of all these intertwined systems, how the trees know the ocean, how the ocean knows the trees, how your bare footprints on the fleeting shore, your message, your ancient code, are washed away again and again. Sing on. From each embrace, each outpour, from the deep silent roar of the ocean belly into the chaos and turmoil of the gathering, curling, foamy splash, the release and the scattering of your pebbles and shells and dead microbial lives, comes the poem of your life. The poem of your life. Your message to the future. Your final offering that glints and shines and catches light. Though they may be unseen, unheard, unremembered, it does not matter. Sing on. Time, the creator of all things, breathes in and out. Deathless, indifferent, infinite, real. Birthing the future with each breath, a fresh wave, and then the next, and then the next. Time's only purpose is creation. Its only language is love.
Dave, I don't have power on the piano.
Power button off to the side.
I don't play electric piano, but I do today. So I have a little. Mic's not on.
Hello, hello. There we go. Got it. I have a little. This is like a little mini set that started with the trees, and it kind of covers some different ways of seeing where we are right now. And this is one that hovers between hope and hospice. It's that place where there might be one more chance, or it might be time to let go. And kind of we don't know, right? We don't know. And some days I'm in one place of like, I have so much hope, and other days it's like, just release. So I'm gonna, this is kind of the beginning of this little trilogy. It's called Sing On. Is that enough? When hope is lost, there still is faith. When there's no cure, there still is grace. There is a future all unknown. Sing on, sing on. When first the stars were set on course and mighty winds circled the earth, there came a song that called us forth. Sing on, sing on. We search the skies for guiding stars, for signs that tell us where we are. Ear to the ground, the whispered prayers. Sing on, sing on, sing on. Sing it, Molly. Sing on, sing on, sing on. Let's sing it, everybody. Sing on, sing on, sing on, sing on. trees that know our names, where time created this song of praise. Sing on with all your heart. Sing on, sing on, beyond all hope, beyond all fear, beyond all signs and prayers and tears. The timeless song is ever new. The song is me. The song is you. Sing for the living and those to come. Sing for all beings beneath the sun. For all who fear our race is wrong. Sing on, sing on, sing on, sing on. All we hold dear, they soon be gone. Sing on, sing on. I would so love that, to travel into communities that do some kind of spiritual practice together. Could be part of a hymnal, could be part of a song sheet. But what did that feel good to sing that? Yeah, I think it's helpful. I think it's healing. The downside of having so many new songs is they're not recorded, but you can hear it again on YouTube, because I've got posted about 5 of the house concerts I've done since I started writing all this new material. So for now, go to the YouTube and find, especially the ones that's called time stamping, where you can see the timing for every song listed below the video in the text area, so you can go right to the song you want. But I am going to record. I think I got to. And here's the thing, folks. I hope some of you buy CDs, because I do not want to haul them home on a plane. But people aren't really buying CDs, so I'm a little puzzled about the medium. There's Spotify, there's Instagram, there's a lot. So I'm thinking it through. I'm thinking it through. But yes, they must be recorded, I feel. So I will. And if you sign the mailing list, you will find out when they're available. I hope you will sign the mailing list. You'll get on my mailing list. I'll let you know what's going on. And I might even do some fundraising, because it is kind of expensive. So you might hear from me. If you don't want to get fundraised, don't get on my mailing list. Yes?
Okay, so I just also want to say that this is Dave Herrera over
Oh,
here
thank
behind
you.
the camera.
Yes.
And that Dave has the Bowtie Studios, that little space out in front, which is video and audio studio and puppetry. And he also gives lessons out there, so Bowtie Studios. But also, he is recording this, and it will be on YouTube.
Yes. And thank you for all of this. It worked fine. It was good. We worked on this for a little bit. So, okay. So then there's this song. Thank you. So then there's this place that I go to sometimes, and I'm quite sure that many of you do, which is that place of I guess we'll just call it despair, that it's so hard to contemplate what's going on, and also to know that the causes of this, while much of it is human, it's not just a bunch of individuals being slackers and consumers. The whole thing of the individual carbon footprint, which you all have heard about. And you can calculate, as a global north country, we can calculate, and it's the idea of individual responsibility, yeah? And we can all do something. You know who made up that campaign?
British Petroleum.
British Petroleum. Yep. Corporations love to offload responsibility to the individual. Greenwashing, you know, and America's such an individualist country that we're kind of suckers for this, you know. So, anyway, I just had to say that because it really pisses me off. They get away with that. But nonetheless, my point being, there is a place for grief in all this. And Joanna Macy, who, if you don't know who she is, a wonderful, what she did was she pioneered something called despair and empowerment work during the nuclear fears of the 70s and 80s, whatever. And her belief, and she was a therapist and a Buddhist, which is a great combination, is that instead of avoiding grief because it's so scary and painful, to let all that emotion come in. You know that feeling of like, if I start crying, I'll never stop, so I'm just not going to cry? Leads to ulcers and other things. But, you know, it's like there's another way to look at it, which is collectively, not alone, but collectively go into the grief together and really go there and feel it and wail and cry and rage and as a group. And her belief and her knowledge was that on the other side of that was not just lying in the mud exhausted, but was a burst of energy and a burst of power. It's the most beautiful thing, and it's what healing looks like. You get the stuff out, and then there's you. There's all that beauty that's left. So she would do this. I went through several of them, and it was remarkable. And Sabonfu Somé, who's a wonderful African-American teacher from the one African country I cannot name, it's the one with 2 words, Faso, something Faso.
Burkina Faso.
Burkina. I gotta write this down. It's embarrassing to not be able to say it. Anyway, she did some wonderful workshops out in the U.S. She moved here with her husband, Maladome Somé, who died in the last 10 years or so. And but she would do these grief rituals that were all day, and she created something like what Joanna did, but it was more general. It wasn't just nuclear or climate. It was just whatever, the grief of life, the grief of being alive. And she said in her village, and in many, many villages, many people in the global south have these kind of wise practices. They would get together, you know, quite often and have the singing and the drumming and the dancing, but they also had the wailing and the grieving and the pounding the earth and releasing it all. And she wanted to bring that to us because she could tell we were a culture that needed to grieve. We really badly needed to have a wider range of emotion than Ronald Reagan. It's Morning in America, you know, Make America Great Again. Like, that's killing us, you know. So anyway, all to say, and thank you for bearing with me. I can definitely talk. You may have noticed. But this is my grief song. I sang it to Joanna to see, because I felt like this is too dark, I can't do this. And she said, no, you really have to, because we really need to do this together. So it's called In These Last Days. In these last days, I've been watching the clouds change, feeling the storms rage and the land on fire. In these last days, I feel one more spring coming on. Little birds still sing their song. It's okay. We've been through some dark before. It's okay. Take a breath. Get ready for more. In these last days, I've been studying the stars at night. Some of them seem a little more bright, like they're coming in close. In the goodbye. In these last days, I've been touching the deep place where all that's left is love and grace and an open hand. In these last days, I see wonder in every face, savoring every taste of these last days. And it's okay, I could let it all go. It's okay, I got what I needed, even more than I know. In these last days, it's like stroking an old dog, watching embers on a dying log, comforting and almost gone, savoring every taste of these last days. I feel like it's good to do that together. How are you doing with that?
Good.
Yeah. So I sang it to my son because he's all about regeneration, and he chose, to do that thing, to answer the call for the earth. And he's thrown his whole life, his whole body, whole hours and sweat and intelligence into restoring as much carbon as he can, saving that one patch of land that he's got. So I sang him this song, and he was quiet. And he said, "That's beautiful, Mom," but that wasn't all. I could tell there was more. He said, "I wonder if it's because you're old that you can write that song. Like, I'm looking at the end of my life, and it makes me maybe more at peace," and I don't mean this in the wrong way, but like understanding that things end, right? And maybe I'm more okay with that than a 32-year-old. Fair enough, fair enough. So he told me this great story, and it is really the spark. I promised in the first set that I was going to tell you this great story about him, about the earth, which he told me, which is that he said, Mom, there are seeds that lie in the soil deep, and they lie there dormant for decades, maybe even centuries, and they just are there. They're not dead, and you're thinking, well, what are they doing? What are they waiting for? Turns out what they're waiting for is what they call disturbance. I actually call it disruption, because I think there's a lot of societal disruptions going on, and I'm in favor of almost all of it. But in any case, there's a disturbance, and the disturbance can be a wildfire, and we all know, have you had wildfires out here? California. Oh, the sky was blood red for days. It was, whew. So there's fire, and after fire, you've probably seen the earth just go, ba-boom, like, oh boy, I have got energy now. In fact, I heard a scientist say that the Earth has had about 10 mass extinctions in the course of her existence. And each time after a horrible wipeout, the evolution actually speeds up. Not only does everything come back, but the actual evolutionary process speeds up. I don't know how to explain that, but it's pretty cool. So wildfire. The second thing is hoofs coming through and just pounding and shaking and turning everything over. And a good stampede will do a lot of good work for the earth. So here's my thought, folks. This is my most place of hope. What if humanity, over billions of years of evolution, have seeds inside of us that haven't been awakened, seeds of consciousness, seeds of courage, seeds of imagination, seeds of something nobody ever thought of before, that have not been awakened because we haven't been disrupted enough. And now, if this ain't disruption, I don't know what is. This is our time. Like, the crisis may just be what we need to access something never seen. And I'm all for it. I'm all for it. And I think that the young people are busy about the business of doing that, right? So this is my third song of the four, actually, in the trilogy. It's called Stay Awake. And it's kind of a credo. A credo means a belief. And one of the things I'm realizing, and I bet you are too, is that it's important to kind of decide what we believe, not what we know, because what we know is always changing, you know. But just, what do I really believe? What's core for me? Because what's core, where I stand, it determines how I act, and how we act matters right now. So this is my credo, which I offer you, and you can make up your own. I believe in magic. I believe in science. I believe in spirits that speak out of the silence. I believe in waiting, watching time creating, feeling how the winds change and all the world is swaying. I have no doubt there are seeds deep beneath, waiting patiently down under, waiting for the fire, then the hooves, the stampede that will wake them from their slumber. I believe in chaos and the great disruptions and the sacred fires and their the secret fires and their sacred eruptions. I believe in mysteries and the hidden histories and the secret code left from I so hate it when I forget the words because I love this song so much and I want you to get it, so I'm going to start that verse over. I believe in mysteries and the hidden histories and the secret codes left behind from friends across the galaxies. I have no doubt there is time to unlearn every false compromise. We're ready to be born into this time. Hold to the truth. Believe our eyes. I believe in this day. I believe in the good way, in what the trees say, reaching out, teaching us how to reach out and pray in the midst of the firestorm, in the midst of the great war, in the face of the doom clock. Time unwinds and hidden streams unlock. I have no doubt there is more to be born, and we will marvel at the wonder. Seeds within our souls, never known, never dreamed, waking up and bringing thunder. I believe what the ancients say, the outcome is still in play, and the powers that weave the web sleep. Oh no, they are wide awake. So stay awake to the mysteries, to the guardian galaxies, to the whispering of the redwood trees, the ancient prophecies. Stay awake, stay awake. The outcome is still in play. Keep walking the good, good way. For the weavers never sleep. They have promises to keep. Weaving you, weaving me, weaving all that will ever be. They are wide awake. And now, remember how we started babbling babies? Now we're going to be whispering mycelium. Because we know now that the trees have all these communications that they do with the fungus and the mycelium under the ground. And you know, elders, that when trees are old and they know that their death is approaching, they do something that some call shedding carbon. They download all their nutrients like crazy into the soil, into the saplings coming up around them, feeding the young, giving their life to the young. That's another thing elders are for, right? So that's probably why I have so much energy at this time in my life, because I'm shedding carbon like crazy. I want to go out with 0 carbon left. Give it all away. So anyways, what we're going to do is we're going to whisper stay awake over and over and over like a mantra, like an incantation, as if we were spreading it out to all the surrounding saplings and roots and hidden seeds, right? So just surrender to this. Just give yourself to this. Take the risk and just whisper in your own way, at your own pace, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. And you can look at each other. Stay awake, stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. Yeah, stay awake. We can do it. Stay awake, stay awake, stay awake. 'Cause the outcome is still in play. Keep walking the good, good way. And stay awake. Okay, so then there's the question of why bother doing anything? It's just one person, it's not going to make a difference. People say that about voting, they say it about political action. So this is a song that says this is going to matter someday. It's about planting seeds. This is going to matter someday. This is going to matter someday. We may never know how, we're doing it now. This is going to matter someday. See it again. This is gonna matter someday. This is gonna matter someday. We may never know how, we're doing it now. This is gonna matter someday. I get up my bike, leave my car at home, ride to the river, don't open my phone. I listen to the water and the trees and the wind. Open up my mouth and they tell me what to sing, and this is gonna matter someday. Sing it. This is gonna matter someday. We may never know how, we're doing it now. This is gonna matter someday. Hold your little boy's hand as long as he'll let you. Listen to his dreams and he'll never forget you. He'll try to act tough, be one of the guys, but just hold him real close and he'll cry, cry, cry. And that's gonna matter someday. That's gonna make a difference. This is gonna matter someday. You may never see how, but just do it now. This is gonna matter someday. Fill in your ballot, march watching the streets. Think about who's hungry and vote for what they need. Don't buy the despair and the media hype. Just stick with the people and love with all your might, 'cause this is gonna matter someday. This is gonna matter someday. We may never know how, we're doing it now. This is gonna matter someday. Wow, I really like how you sound, and to hear these voices all together singing This Is Gonna Matter. It is an incantation. You know, it brings into reality what we believe. It becomes truer the more we sing. Well, I woke up this morning, I couldn't get up. It's all going nowhere, it's all used up. It's hanging in the balance, it's riding on the heart. I don't know what I'm doing, but I gotta make a start and believe it's gonna matter someday. This is gonna matter someday. We may never know how, we're doing it now. This is gonna matter someday. Let's do it again. This is gonna matter someday. This is gonna matter someday. We may never know how, we're doing it now. This is gonna matter. Let's do it again, harmony, let's go. This is gonna matter someday. Yes, it is now. This is gonna matter someday. We never know how, we're doing it now. This is gonna matter someday. I believe it's gonna matter someday. I pray it's gonna matter someday. I hope it's gonna matter someday. It just might matter someday. You know, it just might matter today. So that's the journey, you know, from the trees to the despair to the sing on to the this is going to matter. I mean, it doesn't cover everything, but it kind of gives us a little, bunch of options, you know. A little card, what is it, a hand of cards when you're playing cards, you can pull cards from. I want to say thank you to the young people who stayed through this whole thing. Hi. Really glad you're here. What are your names? Jasmine, Sarah, and Jasmine, and honoring the parents who had the wisdom to bring them and knew that this was a good thing to do. So I want to do a song that is for every age, and it's about the earth. Who here composts? Let's take a look. Oh, man, I'm going to move here. I'm so in love with this area. So this is about compost. It's a recipe. And, you know, it's called compost cake, and you might think, ew, compost cake, what do you mean? But if you've ever seen the whole cycle where the compost finally all breaks down, it looks like chocolate cake all crumbled up. It's just dark, delicious. And you just want to go, which is not a good idea, but God, it's so pretty. So this is compost cake. Here's the chorus. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Only the earth knows how to bake a big, delicious compost cake. All right, sing with me. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Only the earth knows how to bake a big, delicious compost cake. You take a little banana peel, leftovers from your last meal. Everything except the steak goes in the compost cake. Tea leaves and some coffee grounds, lettuce that is old and brown, shells from the eggs you had to break go in a compost cake. Yum, yum. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Only the earth knows how to make a big, delicious compost cake. Yeah, put it in a great big pile, let it sit a long, long while. Sun and rain are what it takes to make a compost cake. It takes some dirt, takes some leaves and a little magic, I believe. Then one day it's finally baked into a compost cake. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Only the earth knows how to make a big, delicious compost cake. Plant your seeds and veggie starts. Use your muscle, use your hearts. Use your hoe and use your rake, and spread your compost cake. And watch the garbage that you threw into the pile come back to you in the freshest meal you'll ever make. All from a compost cake. All right, here we go. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Only the earth knows how to make a big, delicious compost. Let's do it. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Yum, yum, a compost cake. Woo! Only the earth knows how to make a big, delicious compost cake. Yum, yum. Right. So I know we've gone a long time, and I know that it's time to stop. So I'm going to do that. There's only 3 minutes between me and that moment. And this is a song I just love to close with because it really comes full circle from the birth to the farewell. I wrote this after my dad died. I wrote a bunch of songs after my dad died. And it just honors the way that our elders live on in us and sing on through us, and the way that people who partner together or as love partners, as communities, hold the energy for the future. Not everybody makes it to the end. None of us are going to see, beyond the mountaintop. Martin Luther King said, "I've been to the mountaintop. I've seen the promised land. I'm not going to get there with you." And if that's what being an elder means, I'm down with that. I'm okay with that. So this is called Long for This World. I won't be long for this world, but I belong to this world. Is it wrong to love this world when it won't be long till I'm gone from this world? My daddy's gone from this world. Every time I think of him, I'm just a little girl riding high upon his shoulders. And to this day, I hear him say, "Light someone's way. We're here to help each other." I won't be long, try it. I won't be long for this world, but I belong to. But I belong to this world. Is it wrong to love? Is it wrong to love this world when it won't be long till I'm gone from this world? My mama dwells beneath my skin. When I see her face, hear her voice, I'm whole again. I can't imagine a world where she's gone, but you'll see her smile inside my eyes. You'll hear her voice inside my song. I won't be long. I won't be long for this world, but I belong to this world. Is it wrong? Is it wrong to love this world when it won't be long? It won't be long till I'm gone from this world. You Two old trees grown together, bound by root and limb, battered by storms and blessed by laughter. And when they fall, the others stand, still giving shade to the ones come after. I won't be long for this world, but I belong to this world. Is it wrong to love this world? Till it won't be long till I'm gone from this world. It won't be long till I'm gone from this world. Oh, you are beautiful. Thank you. Wow. Thank you. Sing on. Dream on. Seed. Let those seeds come up. Disrupt on. And know that we're all in it together. We're doing as good as we can do. So thank you for coming. Thank you, Anne. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Sarah and Charlie and everybody who spread the word. And hope you can sign the mailing list if you want to. Take some CDs home. And bless you. Bless you so much.